All right, so today we are going to be talking about host coaching. Jamie and I are. And we all do it a little differently, I would say, but overall, the general concept is still there. So I'm going to have Jamie get us kicked off on just a few questions.
Hello, everybody. The first question is, why do we coach our host? Can you guys answer that for us? Why do you think we coach our host?
Because that's where we make our paycheck. Like, that's where we make our money, is if we host coach.
Exactly, yes. We want to coach them to have a successful party, which means lots of guests, people in the room, for them to have great orders, and also for us to generate more business for the future. Get our bookings at that party. Coach them for outside orders, the 5, 10, 5 before the party, 10 people in the room, and then 5 after if you're on a virtual. It's kind of the same thing as what I do, is 5 before we start, and then we want at least 10 people on the event and active, actually 30, but like 10 orders from that event at least, and then 5 after the party. They can collect 5 orders after. When should you start host coaching?
When
you book the party.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Right when
Sorry.
you book the party.
Exactly. Yep. I
Right
just
when you
booked a
book the
party
party.
Monday night, and yes, yep. I just booked a party Monday night at my show, and I immediately started talking about how the virtual party would run, and what I would do for her first steps, just to kind of give her a expectation that I'm going to be messaging her things to post, things to people to invite, and get things rolling, and when she should click going. And because have you ever started a virtual party and you send them a message to start and you didn't tell them that right away and you don't hear anything for a couple of days? That makes me panic. So I kind of given them some expectations right away. So what's in it for them? What is the benefit that's going to come to them by following the host coaching with me?
Getting more host
And okay, and here's something that I really hadn't thought about at this angle, but what about it being their kickoff show? That could be a paycheck too. So we should be asking them, every person that hosts with us, if this could be their launch party. So they could have a nice paycheck and host rewards. So if we think about it in that angle, there's a lot at stake. There's bookings at stake. There's everything at stake. The foundation of their new business is at stake. So what's in it for us?
Can I mention one more thing that's in it for the host? And just like your first, it kind of goes with your first question and your second question. They feel good if they have a good turnout. So not just the money, not just the rewards, but have you ever had that party where only 2 people show up and they feel terrible? So even though sometimes we feel pushy when we host coach, you need to be honest with them, because if they just do an event on Facebook or they just invite 10 people, it's not going to be good. It's our job to make sure that that night or that day or that week in the Facebook party, that they feel loved. I know that's kind of weird, but that's just the worst feeling when no one shows up at your party, right? So, sorry, just wanted to throw that out there. Just a little love, just a little warm fuzzy.
I love that, Janelle. That's very true. I've been in that room where somebody is expecting their friends to show up and they don't. And they clearly didn't follow the steps we gave them. And they're talking to them and they're like, oh, okay, hold on a minute.
Yes, they're panicked. They're texting their friends, right? Too late, man. Too late to text now.
Right. So for what's in it for us as potentially their leader or as the consultant for their party, depending on the party or what it is.
I feel like a happy host means that we're going to get more party sales, but we're also going to have the chances of more bookings and recruits.
Yes, absolutely. The fun atmosphere. Who wouldn't want to join us, right? It gives us the opportunity to get more people in front of us for future bookings for ourselves or for that potential new consultant. Lots of guests to build relationships with for the future, for each of you, depending on if they join or not. And just to continue to have a strong business. And then what are we coaching our hosts to do for the party? Before the party, what are we coaching them to do?
Yeah, basically, why do we start coaching them before the party starts?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I'm just trying to get you guys to think in another way. Don't be shy. Don't overthink it either. I see some people's brains turning too hard. You know that.
To get the bookings, to help us help them get where they want to be, to get their sales and stuff.
I mean, just think about before any party, what's the first thing we need in order to have a party? Who do we need?
A host.
Yeah, and we need guests, right? So I always say before the party, we're just working on lots of guests. We want lots of people in the room. We're working on helping them invite.
You want to keep going on that, Carrie?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. So then, obviously, during the party. So what are we trying to get them to do during the party? Like, what's during the party we are helping them to do what with their guests, maybe?
Be involved, ask them questions, have them interact and tag their friends on products.
You got it. You hit it. It's all about that interaction, having fun, right? Taking people, thanking. I think a lot of times some of my best hosts, they'll thank their guests. Hey, thank you for your order. All of that type of interaction, just like I always say, just as if they're in your living room, you'd interact with them.
I feel like when they tag people for thanking for their order, that's when the orders start rolling in again. It's like people remember. They see their host posting that, or, oh, geez, that person ordered, I better order. I don't know. Sometimes it's like I don't know, feel like a little guilty thing.
And then also during the party, you can also, booking buddies, trying to see who would want to book a party with them or for them, who they think would be another great host. So partnering with them so they can get their future party pick. Yes, there's something in it for us, but it's also about their future party pick, right? They get another 50% off item for each booking, which is pretty awesome. And then what about after the party? So the party's done. Now what are we telling our hosts to do? What are we trying to help them achieve? And Jamie touched on this a little bit at the beginning. So you can repeat it. It's okay.
We are all worried about children and spouses.
To get 5 extra orders after the party, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. Get them to that next sales level. They might be $20 away, $50 away. Shoot, helping them. Who didn't order that you thought was going to? Right. So that's obviously a possibility. Who hasn't ordered? Maybe rounding up, making sure and part of your. I mean, that's what you're coaching your host to do. But then you have a part 2, obviously following up with the guests and things like that. So, anybody have any questions about that? The before, during, and again, those are general concepts. Obviously, I think a lot of people, you guys create scripts that you're sending to your host as well.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys do your thank yous in your virtual parties, or do you have your hosts do the thank yous?
I like having the host do it personally, just because they know their friends. I think their friends will see it quicker. And like Jamie was saying too, then it kind of creates this cause and effect of their other people in their party will start ordering because they'll see that post even. They'll say, oh, they're ordered. Crap, I should get my order in, you know?
So do you send them a bunch of thank you pictures before, like pepper check, or do you just have them?
No, I don't. They don't have to do a picture if they want to. I tell them they can do whatever they want. They can do either or.
I do have some stock ones. I keep mine in my host coaching folder so I could hurry up and send those. And it's gonna be whatever you want to do if you want to send one.
Do you guys, is it true? I do the thank yous, but I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should have the host do thank you. Does it reach more people? Do more people get a notification because the host is their friend?
I think so.
Okay.
But they also probably see, like, you know, they see notification from Carrie Quall, random stranger person. Who's that again? Versus, oh, I see one from Susie Q, who I know. Like, they might check it out quicker, too.
That's true.
I personally do the thank you because I post a recipe that goes with a product that they ordered, and which is something I heard on one of the coffee talk trainings. And then I tag the guest if they're in the group, and I tag the host, and then I also have the host go in and write a comment on it, thanking the guest and tagging them to help bump it on people's news feeds.
Okay, cool.
Double.
That's personally how I do it based off of coffee talk.
That's smart.
I love that. Yep, it's kind of like selling to each other. You post that picture and the recipe, and this is what they bought, and it's kind of, I don't know, kind of like when you do live shows and you're sharing products with each other to sell. You know what the other people have bought, their friends are buying it. I might buy it too. That's great. I love that. Sorry, Carrie.
Oh, you're fine. I love this. I love these ideas. All right, so we're going to hop into kind of the big part of host coaching, especially with this specific group. So what should we be asking the host at least 5 times?
About the opportunity.
Yes, so I'm going to share my screen here. And so we're just going to kind of go through this. So when you should ask, maybe what to say, and these are just a guideline. Your guys' director can send this to you as well, so you can have it on hand. But this is just a really great guideline here. Oh, or taking screenshots of it too. I love it. I heard a camera go off. So obviously before the host, I think, or before the show starts, I even do it before you set up the show, I should say. Hey, shh. Anyways, Jamie, you might need to help me here.
Okay.
But, you know, before you set up the show even, so before I even set it up, I say, hey, you know, I want to thank you for hosting a party. I use a lot of these words almost to a T. But before I set this up, hey now, before I set this up, are you at all interested in getting the benefits of hosting your own party? Jamie, I'm gonna let you take over.
Okay. Yep. So I'm like Carrie, I'll say something like, would you like to get the paycheck and the host benefit? And that might tempt somebody right into it immediately. I mean, if they're thinking, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this month, absolutely, I'd love the paycheck. And heck, this lady's gonna do all the work, right? I think some of my hosts have thought that. But yeah, so they get the hosting benefits, they also get the paycheck, and we're gonna make it their launch party. We're gonna help them start off their business strong. Sorry. Staring too much at the screen at the wording. So that's the first thing, the first time that you're gonna talk to them about it before the party. Sound excited about it. Because we all make that phone call, right? A personal phone call so they hear our voice. I think that's really important in building that relationship. I know that doesn't happen all the time, but if you can possibly do that, it's good to do that because they're going to hear the excitement in your voice, your passion for what your business is, and that might add a little bit more encouragement towards them starting their own business. And then the second time that we talk about it is after their friends start rolling into the party, like they're saying that they're going. This would be your second phone call for like a cooking show, I would say, and it's checking how many RSVPs they have. Oh, you already have 10 coming, or you already have 5 that said they're coming. That's really awesome. That sounds like you have a lot of friends that love Pampered Chef, and if it's a virtual party, you might see 20 people join on the first day. I know I've seen that, and I'm just like, woo, this girl's going to be my next consultant for sure. But yeah, they have a lot of friends that love PC. Are you sure you don't want to give the business a try? So that's your second opportunity to do that. And then during the party?
Either way.
And they're interacting. Yeah. It can be a little bit before. Sometimes I have hosts that get really excited before it even starts. And I'm like, ooh, hold back. But then I'm like, no, don't hold back. I have a lady right now who's posting recipes and products that she likes, and I didn't even tell her to do that. And it doesn't start till next Wednesday.
We do too.
So this is the perfect opportunity to jump in and say, you're doing such an awesome job. Do you realize you're like a natural consultant? You're already doing, what I would, do too for my party. So that's another opportunity for you to let them know, and basically to let them know you think they're doing a great job and that they would make a great consultant. Compliment them on that.
I was just going to say that. Complimenting,
Okay, go ahead,
I feel like they're doing great at. Maybe they're interacting a ton. Maybe they're just, I don't know. You can just tell when they're being a stinking rock star and you're like, oh my gosh, did you know my job is just as easy as what you're doing? Whatever it may be, like you're rocking it. You're amazing.
Oh my gosh, Jamie, you just hit the nail on the head when you said, like, sometimes you think, whoa, wait, I'm going to do all that. And then you have to go, oh, stop, control freak. It's okay. Wait, maybe you should recruit this person. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you get so excited too after I shut that voice down on me. Okay, and Carrie, do you want to keep going, or you want me to? I can keep going.
Yeah, no, I can go.
And then again, okay.
Either way. Yeah, so I mean, then of course, at the point where they can earn that kit credit, they hit that $300 in sales. Just letting them know, oh my gosh, you just hit $300 in sales. You now qualify for the kit credit. Did you know you can save? Depends on what level if they're at. That's just the $300. You can get $25 on a starter kit. If they're higher up and they're at, have the $55 in free is what it is, you can say $50. And then have you seen them? You could do a couple different things. So, I mean, yes, you can send them straight to our Be Consultant website. It is much, but you could even ask a different question. What interests you the most about being a consultant? You could whatever you feel comfortable with, right? There's always something that's just a little bit different for each of us, I think. So make sure you make it your own. Make sure you feel comfortable with it, but make sure you're asking a question. So as well.
I feel like when I've gotten a couple stronger no's in the previous 2 times that I've contacted them, this kit credit actually gives me a little bit more permission to ask again, because I'm giving them another opportunity to save some money. And I don't know, just like you get that kind of almost, no way, I'm not ever doing it, no how. Not quite there, but like this kit credit, I'm just like, oh geez, who wouldn't want to save $50 on a $250 kit that gets $1,000 of products? I reiterate how many products come in those kits also, because sometimes they might not hear it the first time. They're just hearing, oh, another job, no thank you. And then every time I give them, try to make sure I'm giving them that information, because not all of it might have soaked in all the benefits, because we know that they're great. They might not be hearing them all, so I try to share that every time too, just to give that little bit more information. Oh, remember, that's $1,000 of the products. Oh, wait, what did you say? There's $1,000 in what? I might have told them that twice already, but this time they heard it.
I like that idea of a different way of presenting even the kits. You're getting a lot out of this. There's really no risk. you know, it's just reiterating
Yeah.
that idea. There's no risk. Give it a try.
And you know what? If you guys are thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do that, that seems kind of pushy. Let me just ask you a question. Would you ever, at the end of a party, not tell your host how much free product they get? Would you ever not tell them that they earned 3 half-price items? Right? You would never forget that, would you? Would you all agree you would always tell them? And if you didn't tell them, you would not be doing your job? Right? It's the same with the kit. It's just another benefit. Just another benefit.
And I was going to mention that too, but
And a
and then with
huge one.
the last point too, again, we're just saying, hey, again, before we close your party, I just want to ask you one more time if you wanted to give this business a try. I'd love to give you the bookings from this party, right? So sometimes if you've gotten a no already from them, I might even start with just saying, hey, like, I know you said no already, but you totally rocked this party and were so amazing. I just want to make sure before we close this party, I would love to, you got 2 bookings, you got 5 bookings, you got 1 booking, and I'd love to give that party to you to get you started. So there's always 2 things if that you want, one of 2 things or both things that you always want to have done for your host. When asking them, you always want to make sure that either you help them get a kit credit, so their shows $300 in sales or higher, even $400, so they get that $50 one, and then get them bookings, help them to get bookings. So, but we talked about earlier with the host coaching, right? If they are helping you get the bookings, that's a flag. If they get you a booking, shoot, that's a flag that they could be a great consultant. So be watching for flags as well, which that'll come. But specifically with host coaching, you're gonna see those types of flags through that. So
And there's one more bullet point I wish was on here. I wish there was a spot on here that talked about when you're in the party, you're doing the party, and at the end, we see people who are on her party that are interacting like a consultant. Like, you're like, whoa, this person's awesome. They're responding to almost every post. They're interacting completely. It's like, that person, they really like Pampered Chef. They about have every tool. They've listed every tool that they have, what they use it for. That person might be one of your first team members. Those red flags are going to go off when you're seeing guests in their party too. So these people are just thinking about the business or just starting. Those red flags might not go off for them. So we can start them seeing them and point them out to them so that they can see, that's when I need to react. Okay. So later on, when they're doing their own parties, those red flags are going to go off for them as well, because we want them to be sharing the opportunity right away, create that culture to offer the business to people as they start off, and just teaching them how to see red flags, I think, is important. Sorry.
don't be sorry. You're giving training advice. I like it. So what if they say no along the way at any point in this? What do we do? Do we just stop at number 1? Do we say, oh, we asked them once and they said no, good enough? What about, think about when you even ask for booking, someone says no right away, but is that a no, not now, no, not ever with booking? Is this, sometimes they give excuses.
You should ask all the time. If Crystal wouldn't have kept on asking, I wouldn't be part of this team and this family.
Right. And I remember sometimes, okay, right, we hear that people say, well, I'm too busy to have a party. I'm too whatever, right? They're giving you objections. I think the same is true for being a part of this team, right? Well, they might say, I'm too busy. I have so much going on, or I'm in grad school right now. I don't have the money. And someone once taught me, Kathy Cocozella said, that's exactly why you should join. You don't have the money, that's exactly why you should join. Pampered Chef will help you earn an income. Well, I'm too busy. That's exactly why you should join, to maybe help you free up some time because you have a second, third, fourth, fifth job. Because I know people on this team that had their 8 to 5 job and plus 3 extra jobs, and replaced those 3 extra jobs with Pampered Chef. You know, so that could be their excuse could be the exact reason why they should join. Well, they need money to pay for grad school. My kids are in so many activities, like, well, you can do this on your phone while watching. And sometimes, I'm sorry, but those games can be really boring when they're younger. You know, like, of course you want to be there to support them, but I've gone to too many niece and nephew ones and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hard. But it's still fun. So, you know, there's just so many good, their excuse can be the exact reason why they should maybe join, that you can help them.
And honestly, when Janelle asked me if I would join Pampered Chef, I told her I was too busy. I do childcare 50 hours a week. I just can't even put anything else on my plate. To be honest with you, I didn't know what busy was. I didn't. And I wasn't happy. I was spinning. I would call it spinning. So people probably don't have an idea of what it can give to them. So just to make sure you have enough passion in your heart about this business, think about everything that it's given you so you can filter that out or give that out to them. Because to draw that picture for them, what it could offer them might open their eyes to, I might just give it a shot. And that's what I did. I gave it a shot and I was going to get that kit and hit the road. But then I was like, ooh, I like the paycheck. See, you just let them experience it a little bit. If we get them through that door, let them know there's no risk. Let them experience a little bit. And I found, most of us stay.
Yep. And you guys will each, you'll figure out verbiage as well. But if you need help, you know, if you ever need help with what words to say, reach out to your director. We are here to help. You know, so take a screenshot of your conversation with someone. You're like, oh my gosh, this was their excuse. How do I respond? You can send those to us. We're here to help you with that. And sometimes too, it's just reminding them and complimenting them. But you were so much fun. You did such a great job in interacting with anyone. Are you sure? I would love to help you.
Start with these words. There's nothing wrong with them. Claudia Bazar, I don't know, she's only been in the business a few years. She's an exec. I think she's just going for national now or whatever. Like, she's top or second from the top. She does this religiously and it works. So start with these, but then maybe you'll be, I'm not quite comfortable with this part, or this doesn't sound like me. Then make it your own. But you can start here. I have this in my planner. I have this in the inside of my host coaching folder. No. It's there, so I can reference it whenever I want. So it's a good starting point.
Definitely. The only time I think, even at first when you're using it, is to ever switch. It's more when they come up with an objection. It might change just a little bit depending on their objection, but other than that, really just follow that. Stick to that at least at first. You know, I always say anything new is uncomfortable at first, and then once you get the practice, it'll feel more comfortable.
There's nothing wrong with scripting. So if you have to write it out and look at it and say it word by word, that's okay. Every job I've ever had has scripts. You know, even in nursing, we have scripts. We say the same things over and over and over. But that's how you get comfortable with it, and that's how you learn how to say it. It's okay. So don't worry about it. Oh my gosh, I'm reading from something. It's all right. Even at your shows, it's okay to have a script. Janelle taught me that way back in the day. So it's okay to just have a script.
I love that. And for virtual parties, I'll keep them right on my desktop so I can copy paste, because sometimes you want to respond to that before you forget. You see something, you see a red flag, boom, send that message out to somebody right then and there. Don't procrastinate and wait, because if you miss that opportunity, they're missing the opportunity too.
All right, we're just at 7:30, so I know some of you might have to head out, but we love to open it up for any questions or any feedback or thoughts you guys might have.
I was wondering, have any of you had a party created and already asked the host if they're interested in the business, but then, like you guys talked about earlier, asking that last question of, are you sure you don't want to turn this party into yours? Have you actually had that happen?
Yes.
So then how do you just go into where your party's created and change all the information in that to theirs then before closing it?
It's actually happened to me at a cooking show. So I walked in the door and I said, "Are you positive you don't want to do this?" This person is still on my team. And she said, "Actually, I do." I whipped out, I always carry a paper contract. I know that's way old school, you guys, but that's what I did. I whipped it out. I said, "Fill this out and sign it in the next 30 seconds and the show is yours." And so she did. And so there you go. So there's asking. Now, I think, Janelle, you have actually flipped a virtual party, haven't you?
Yeah. Typically, if I'm going to do that, I try to tell them, before we start getting orders, we need to get this flipped. If I've got only 1 or 2 orders, it's not that hard, but you manually have to have those orders put into their system then. There's no way, are you asking about like the party itself in Consultants Corner? Can you flip it to somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no technical way to just take that and say, I wish they would. Maybe that's coming. Maybe that'll be an announcement at a conference. But anyway, it'd be really cool if there's a button that said, make this host the consultant, right? How cool would that be? But all right, we won't cross our fingers on that one. But maybe. Okay, so they actually have to manually they have to call those 2 customers and say, hey, I decided to sign up and everything's masked in our system. So I just need to grab your credit card again. You can just, tell them what the order is and they move it over, they do the order on their side. Now, logistically, an easy way to change that though is in the party that I have then, let's say I just promoted you, Sharon, or I just recruited you, Sharon, you were my host. I would go to your party on Consultants Corner and I would change the link. I would put an X behind the name of the link. I would just change the name of the link and save it. And then I would help you set up the party on your Consultants Connection or Consultants Corner. And you would use the original link. That way it's seamless to all the customers. They still have the same link. And that link just has to be unique. So if I left mine, it wouldn't be unique. But if I change it to, Sharon 1942 X, and then I give you Sharon 1942, which was the original link, then it all works out. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, we'll help you. When that happens with your first one, we'll just help you through it. But you basically are just transferring the link so that nothing changes for the outside customers.
Okay.
By changing it, you free it up again. Yep.
Now, if I have a host that I go through the whole party, I've got 20 orders on the party, and I'm about ready to close it, and she decides to sign, no, I'm not giving that to her because that's not a training party then. She just watched it as a guest / host. Then I give them the credit. I just tell them, okay, let's just use the kit credit. You get all the bookings, but I don't give them that party because they didn't really do any of the work for that party either.
More questions?
As I say, if there's no more questions, then we'll wrap this up, but be sure to get with your director. Stay in touch with them. So we're here working together with you guys.
You guys.
Great day, everybody.
Great job, Jamie and Carrie. Woo, woo, woo. What do you guys think? That was awesome, right? I could hear passion coming through the screen. Great job.
Super awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.